to the Metatron's channel.
Do remember,
You are Muppets.
what we're doing today. I'm going to provide, in the best of my ability, a fair analysis of Asmongold's takes on topics that we overlap. Now, for the 0.0000000000007% of you who have never heard this name, I will try to provide a short, brief, but fair introduction to the man before we begin with the analysis of his takes. And in order to do that, I'm going to disappear for a moment. Why? Well, because it's not about me, is it? Alright, Asmongold is a gaming streamer, at least at his original core, who managed to reach impressive notoriety to the point that he's one of the most viewed streamers on Twitch. On what category, you ask? Gaming? Well, he's very popular in that substrate too, but no, in the political commentary sphere. He's, in fact, Twitch #1 political commentator. Now, how did this happen, you ask? Well, I think one of the reasons could be the fact that his name is now one of the most searched words on Google search engine above, for example, the NBA, among other things. So I'm sure that that's a contributing factor. But it's not all there is to it. And also I'd like to underline while I'm at it, since ASMR seems to be #1, I think I should probably open an ASMR channel. Metatron ASMR with helmets, but I digress. Let's first and foremost frame this in the most coherent way, and then we'll go into the takes. So I'll begin by, rather than talking about who he is, I want to talk about what Asmongold is, and in order to do it, I'm going to give a definition in reverse. So let's retro-engineer it. What Asmongold is not is a political commentator, regardless of any given success in the space. He's a gamer who comments on politics. And to be precise, he's a gamer who provides commentary on politics, usually through the prism of the culture war, in relation to gaming specifically. So, in most cases, there is that connection, a tether if you will. Although these days I've seen him comment on policy and news too from time to time. Still, once you frame it that way, a gamer who comments on politics, you'll be able to understand how he can be based on certain topics, mostly those relating to common sense within the gaming space, but also, at the same time, fall short on other more complex issues. After all, that's to be expected. He clearly doesn't have a background in political science, international economic theory, nor history, so he will lack in those areas when he gives an opinion, and people should keep that in mind. If you're commenting on, say, economic policy, a full grasp, for instance, of the socio-economic underpinning of any given item in discussion would be required to have a complete picture and therefore come to a reasonable conclusion. Yet, in my experience, whenever we talk about Asmongold, we talk about this, ladies and gentlemen. This is Asmongold. So what do I mean by that? Imagine you have a D20 right now and you roll it. Unless it's gaming, with which I often agree with his takes, particularly when it comes to politics and games, you have to roll your dice, the D20, to represent Asmongold's positions. Sometimes, if you get any number from 2 to 10, my reaction to what he's saying will be, oh gosh, I don't know. No, I don't think I can agree with that. You roll again and you get between 11 and 19. I will say, you know what? What he just said makes perfect sense. Yeah, sure, I agree. Sometimes he rolls a 1. In those cases, I'll go, ooh, no, oh no, no, I'm sorry, no. Although then again, to give credit to the man, he usually apologizes publicly for those takes. And other times, sometimes you roll a 20. When that happens, I say, Asmongold, based. So which one we're going to encounter today? Well, I've got a few videos prepared, so then we can see which dice we roll and what number we get. In fact, just for fun, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to roll, and let's see what we get. Roll the dice. Woohoo! Okay, this was not a good take, Asmongold. Next. Ooh, Asmongold, that was pretty good. Now, for the analysis to be complete, usually when it comes to criticism towards Asmongold, this is twofold. On one side, people say he's a React channel, and then we can go into the legal and moral analysis of this section. And then on the other side, there is the accusation of Asmongold being a right-wing grifter. So, how about we deconstruct these, and I'll share with you my honest opinion on all of these. When we talk about React channels, I'm gonna be honest with you, I occasionally do React videos myself. it's lazy content. It's the easiest type of content that a creator can make. I personally usually choose to do React videos when I'm busy preparing something more research that requires time and there is a certain level of production value. Those take time. So in the meantime, I'll produce a couple of fillers that are React videos. I try to provide commentary that is interesting, congruent, and cohesive, considering the topic at hand, particularly when it comes to history. But at the end of the day, doesn't matter how you look at it, React content is lazy. So, Asmongold, since his channel is mostly React, compared to channels that do full production and research, is lazy. He still puts a lot of work in it, because I imagine he's live for a monumental amount of hours, so comparatively, he's lazy, but I think he would accept that, at least for what I understand. He would say, yeah, sure, I'm lazy compared to other creators. But is it illegal, what he's doing? And most importantly, is it immoral? And I would like to respond to this because, due to the fact that I've done a little bit of React myself, I've had those accusations. From the legal perspective, we need to discuss the fair use disclaimer, which under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, I got it right in front of me, allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, commentary, news reporting, education, research, scholarship, and, as I said, in general, commentary. So, from a legal perspective, strictly speaking, as long as he provides enough commentary in order to make his reaction content transformative in nature, he's doing nothing illegal, and nor am I whenever I do a React video. Now let's talk about the moral aspect of this. I like being thorough when I do these examinations, as well as fair response. Is it morally wrong to produce React content? Usually people that complain about this, I know myself because of the comments I get, they say that React channels are content thieves, in the sense that someone else with a much smaller channel produced a video, the big React commentator reacts to the video, they are stealing their spotlight, they are stealing their views. This is never or almost never beneficial to the creator that is being watched, and therefore this practice is highly immoral. Now, the situation with this, it's a very reductive way to look at this, and it's a really case-by-case scenario. But when it comes to the kind of commentary that I provide, and also for what I've seen when it comes to Asmongold, the real question that I think we should ask is, can it ever be beneficial for a smaller channel? And I have the answer. Let's have a look at this channel, ladies and gentlemen. This channel is called The Background NPC. And we can see it's a channel with 112,000 subscribers, so it's a highly successful channel. Man, how many videos did she have to make in order to be this successful? 300, 500, 11 videos, ladies and gentlemen. How did this happen? Either this lovely lady is a genius of algorithmic interpretation and reading within the YouTube ecosphere, or we actually see what happened, which is the man himself reacted to one of her videos. When he reacted to her, she had 300 subscribers. When did he react? Freaking 10 minutes ago. So she went from 300 subscribers to 112,000 subscribers. And deservingly so. She's a lovely content creator. I think she makes really nice videos. And now she's got a career. So, and what I want to say about this is that we're going to watch, by the way, various videos. We're going to watch this, but I think she's really nice. So you should go and check her out. Not that I have the same level of influence in any way, shape or form, of course, but I would like to encourage you because I think she's really nice as a content creator. There she is. And do you think she is going to complain about content theft? How many views did she get in the original video? I don't know, but I don't think she's going to have a problem with that. In fact, I watched her reaction and she was very grateful. So in this case, this happened. You could say, yeah, but does this ever happen? Well, Penguin Zero, 16 million subscribers. His career was ignited because a bigger channel reacted to one of his videos. Jacksepticeye, 30 million subscribers. His career was kickstarted by a bigger creator that reacted to him. And there are plenty of stories like this. Given if the video in question is a horrible video, even if a big creator reacts to you, you're not gonna have success. So of course, part of this is due to the fact that she produced a good video. And also, as you can see, she's been posting, so she needs to now retain the new subscribe wave. She does have some merit into this, but let's stop pretending that when a big creator reacts to a smaller creator, it's only detrimental to the smaller creator. This is a clear evidence, and I'm all about the fact that she absolutely benefited enormous, and I'm happy for her. Look at the views. She gets more views than me, and I'm so happy for it. In fact, I'll start watching and you know what? I'm just gonna subscribe to her right now. And I suggest you to go and check her out because I think she deserves it. I'm very happy that she got, look at this, 400,000 views. I have trouble getting 400. I do sometimes, but it's not easy for me to get 400,000 views. She just got 400,000 views in 6 days. That's phenomenal. Happy for her. Now let's address the other accusation. Is he a right-wing grifter. Now, this is a situation that is a little difficult for me to express without getting annoyed, because oftentimes, even though I've expressed millions of times that all I care about is the truth, I am a very moderate individual politically, I'm not a hateful individual, I don't like extremists, still, whenever I make a video, and if the evidence that I'm providing doesn't confirm biases on either side, people get mad. So, when I make a video and it upsets people on the left, they call me right-wing grifter. There are plenty of videos on the tube that call me a right-wing grifter. And then when I make a video that upsets people on the right, they call me woke. So I'm either the Wokeatron on a Monday and the Metachud on a Tuesday, which is logically impossible, or I think people are getting a little easily offended. What they do is that they use the word grifter to describe, and in fact insult, simply someone who disagrees with them. But what about him? Well, first of all, let's divide it. Is he right-wing? Now, I know that some of you will say, oh, absolutely, he's right-wing. And then there will be people that say, no, he's a lefty. When I read these comments, I know that people that call him right-wing are probably lefties, and people that call him left-wing are probably right-wingers. The reality is, for what I've seen so far, and as I say, I'm trying to be fair, I think he is very right-leaning when it comes to his positions concerning the culture war within the gaming space. That's what I would say. But I've also heard him say things that no conservative would ever say. So I personally think his takes are mixed. Perhaps we could describe him right-leaning, but he's definitely not as right-wing as a Matt Walsh. I think we can agree with that. But is he a grifter? Well, how about we look at the definition of grifter, since I like being thorough. Grift: ways of getting money dishonestly that involve tricking someone. Is he getting money dishonestly? No. A grifter is a con artist, someone who obtains money by swindling or tricking others. Is he tricking? No. Someone who gets money dishonestly by tricking people? I'm going to say no. Now, within the modern political space, grifter doesn't always mean fraud, because I think this definition does not fit Asmongold. I'm trying to be honest here. He's clickbaity, occasionally I am too, but not fraud. So sometimes in the political space these days, particularly within the culture war, people use it to mean a person of online presence that uses political topics that they know will go viral in order to make a profit. Problem is that, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, this only applies to people that do this, but they don't actually believe and are not being authentic. That's my personal idea of grifting, since in the original word, at least etymologically speaking, a certain level of trickery has to be present. If you don't believe in it, and you're just making these videos because you know they will make you money in order to pander to your audience, and then once you get enough money, you forget about your audience, you go to an island and change name, then yeah, you're a political grifter, left or right. But when you do believe in this, and it does appear, to me at least, he seems to be authentic. So if you're genuine, what you could say, because I know people in my audience, some are right-wing, some are left-wing. If you are left-wing, you can easily say, hey, I disagree with his takes, because yeah, those takes might be right-wing from your position. But calling him a grifter is inappropriate, simply because for me, in order to be grifting, the person should be unauthentic. And that's my opinion. Feel free, of course, to agree or disagree. Watch a few videos. The videos that I've prepared today for you that I would like to review when I appear on camera again. In 3, 2, 1. Muppet is back. Oh, no, wrong. Muppet is back. No, wrong. Goodness gracious, where is it? Technical difficulties. There we go, I'm back. Hey, good to see you. So yeah, we're going to review I want to see his take on Dragon Age Veilguard. Let's see what he has to say about Dragon Age the Veilguard, because maybe he'll get more political about it. And since I'm a very moderate individual, there might be some things when I'm like, I don't know if he's stepping up. Let's see. It's a 2 minutes and 30 seconds clip, so we're going to go through this one quickly, guys. I would be more than happy to do a collab, Chris, absolutely, with Asmongold, 100%.
And a lot of people that have given extremely positive and favorable reviews to a game.
Bunch of liars.
That has received a tremendous amount of criticism.
Dragon Age the Veilguard is a triumphant return to form. Without a doubt, a return to form for BioWare. Return to form!
Return to form. Form meaning Dragon Age... Form meaning Dragon Age Origins. If you don't know what Dragon Age Origins is, you will not be able to understand the depth of the absurdity of this statement. Return to form!
Return to form! Return to form!
Dragon Age the Veilguard review.
Let's go.
So, there's a reason YouTube got rid of dislikes. What is the dislikes be? 40K? Holy shit!
To give you perspective, the tool that allows you to still see the number of dislikes is not 100% accurate, but it does give you so don't take it literal, but it does give an overall fair analysis from when it comes to the data of the ball range of, it's an estimate. Still, I can see that. I forgot to add my dislike. I'll add it later.
I clicked on the video merely for the comment section. If you ever feel useless, remember that this channel exists. This isn't a review, it's sponsored content. That's fucked up.
Oh, that's wild.
I'd lied better.
Emmerich, you clearly find talking about dragons boring.
What? How? Who doesn't like dragons?
You're not ready? I'm not ready either. Let's watch it.
Pounding that snake's nose. She's still holding the ruby in her other hand. Maker's panties. I was so proud.
Oh,
Ah, shit. They're still holding it. Sorry.
what are you doing?
Pulling a barb.
Oh, okay.
Bad blood among your crew's not good for morale, but there's not always time for big drawn-out apologies. So when one of us screws up and we know we've screwed up, we do a quick 10 to put it right.
I will say that looking at her, she's still hot. Now, like the narrative and like her doing push-ups because she she used the wrong pronouns. Yeah, it's really stupid. They did nerf her boobs. I think they did.
Yeah, I agree with him, but I would like to say the writers did a disservice to the people that, of course, use the pronouns and whatnot by doing this, because this is obnoxious. So the reality is, in my opinion, is that even the writers, they did it because they needed to own the freaking chuds. They didn't do it because they wanted to actually support the LGBT community and all that. Because if you do, you're going to sit down and really think, because this was a catastrophic failure. But let's be honest, people that professionally work into the R&D department or in general marketing, you're telling me that they couldn't foresee that this was going to create a massive backlash because it's cringe? It's just that they don't care. So I agree with him. He's right. This is stupid and it's cringeworthy. But I want to say this.
Reason you can't just apologize?
Sometimes people say, oops, sorry, and hope that fixes it, but they just want to get the whole thing over with. But pulling a barb, you sweat a little. Makes you think about it a little more. Shows the other person you mean it.
What if they mean it when they say they're sorry, though?
And that's the other reason. Some people mess up and get all dramatic. They make it about them. Oh, you know, I did.
That is a projection if I've ever seen one. Writer of this, you just made the entire franchise about yourself. Can we be honest about this? That is exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened.
I didn't mean it right. I'd never do that on purpose. They feel so bad about it that it's on everyone else to smooth it over and make them feel better.
Oh, okay. Yes, some people might do that.
Pulling a barb.
Are you sure that them was the right pronoun and making them feel bad? How do you know? Did you ask? Did she ask or no? But yeah, this is the cringe fest, noble ones. This is a cringe fest.
Puts it on the person who screwed up. They made the mess. They fix it. Done.
I cannot wait for tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be such a good day for me. I'm going to wake up early. What's this dialogue? It's not dialogue. It's a sermon.
Based. It is he's absolutely right, 100%. I was expecting, by the way he was described, based. It's exactly what it is. It's a sermon. Indoctrinating sermon, in fact. It is. It's a sermon. Even if you agree with it, you could say it's a sermon. You could agree with it. I know my audience is mixed. Some people in the comments will be like, no, I'm left-leaning. Fine. You agree with it, but it's still a sermon. He's correct. He's right. At this point, someone who watches this and says, oh, Asmongold is a horrible, toxic individual, I think they're just saying it because they don't like that the guy has a different opinion on this specific matter, by the way. And some of his takes are clearly left-leaning, not in the culture war. In the culture war, I guess a lot of his takes would be considered right-leaning. Although for me, what I've seen up to this point, it was freaking common sense. It's not even I understand that everything has become political. I can't even say that I like freedom of speech without people calling me a fascist, which is the craziest disconnection from reality that I've ever seen. Because yeah, if being pro freedom of speech makes you a fascist, then you have to explain to me how is it possible that during the fascist regime in Italy, you could not go to Rome and say Mussolini is a monster because they would have shot you on the spot. When it comes to me, and that's my moderate take when it comes to these things, as long as someone is polite, as long as someone asks me politely, hey, I have this other name, I will use their preferred name. Because I use the name Metatron, and you guys are very nice, telling me Metatron, calling me Metatron, appreciate it's not my birth name, and fine. And when it comes to preferred pronouns, don't you even try with the crazy ones like bunny, bunny self, demon, demon self. Never gonna happen. I'm never gonna say it even at GUN point. But when it comes to she or he, the regular pronouns, as long as someone asks me politely, I will do it out of politeness. With that being said, if someone like Dylan Mulvaney, who made a statement publicly, said that it is the belief of this creator that people should go to jail if they don't use the preferred pronoun, then I will not use it on purpose, just to show a resistance against people who want to take away my freedom. Now, if you disagree with that and you want to say, no, I don't want to use any preferred pronoun, that's your freedom. If you instead go more left and you want to say, no, I use all pronouns, everything, bunny, bunny, vampire, self, whatever this case, it is your freedom, as long as the freedom of the individual is not being taken away by a government that shouldn't have any business into what people say unless what they are saying leads to a crime. That's the only case in which, within at least the United States Constitution where I live, speech is not protected. Government has no business in my freedom of expression. So once again, you're a nice person, you're lovely, you're not one of those crazy activists, and you tell me, look, I actually have gender dysphoria, like clinically proven, and you want me to use your preferred pronoun, I'll do it because you're being nice and you're asking me nicely. I look at the person. But if you're one of those who's gonna be like, if you don't say it, you'll be cancelled, I'll say it to make a stand. I'll use the opposite pronoun in that case.